How's it hanging, everybody? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to Superpowered Popcorn, and today we're going to be looking at the third episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. As you know, I'm a big fan of this series. I think the last two episodes have been superb. I have mixed feelings about this episode, but we'll get to those as we go through. It goes without saying, going to be spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen the episode, please don't watch until you've watched the show. So, third episode in out of 6. We're kind of hitting we're stride a little bit. Some interesting things in this episode, which we'll talk about. As usual, if there are any key first appearances that we haven't mentioned in previous videos, I will put them up on screen. But to be honest, there's not a great deal of first apps in this one, but a couple. Let's start off with Zemo. So Baron Zemo comes back from Captain America Civil War. There's an interesting scene where Bucky basically breaks him out of prison. I loved Zemo in Civil War. I thought what they did with his character was really, really interesting. I thought the actor who plays him is brilliant. And this felt to me very much a Zemo-centered episode. He featured heavily, which was good. And we'll finally get to see him in his costume, which I really enjoyed. It's nice to see him finally wearing that. Bit odd, if I'm being honest with you. All of a sudden, Zemo is a very rich guy and he's a baron. I don't remember that being mentioned in Civil War. I thought they'd kind of pulled away from that particular kind of side of things with his character. So that was a bit of a jolt. It felt very much like we're trying to get him back on track to being the comic book Baron Zemo in many ways. That said, I enjoyed the character. I thought he brought an interesting element to it. I thought the humour he brought at times was very good. And I liked that he was very focused on mission in terms of getting rid of the super soldiers. I enjoyed that. I like the actor a lot, like I said, and I think it's a good character. I'm really hopeful that we get a Thunderbolts series at some point with Baron Zemo, pulling back some of those villains we've seen in previous Marvel films. If we do see that, you know, there's going to be a couple of books that's really hot up, and I'll put those on screen now. Thunderbolts obviously first appeared in Incredible Hulk. Great series, great twist. Well worth a read, those initial first issues. We're also introduced to, and I'll probably say it wrong, Madrapal. All I really know about this place is from some of the Wolverine comics, because I know Wolverine was there, and I think was Joe Fixit-Hulk in there at some point as well. It's kind of like the Marvel Universe version of a really grotty city where all the assassins and the crime bosses and things like that go. Bit of a cesspit kind of town, really. I thought it looked really stunning. I thought some of the scenes they put out were beautiful with the city itself. Bit of a missed opportunity, I think. I think for Marvel geeks, you know, there could have been some brilliant Easter eggs in some of those scenes of key characters just in the background and things. I don't know if it's just me. Perhaps I missed them. If I missed them, please put them in the comments below. And whilst you're doing that, hit that thumbs up and please subscribe. But yeah, I felt we could have seen some people just lurking in the background, not necessarily fleshed out. And I also hoped, and I think, you know, we should have learned a lesson really with WandaVision. I hoped that the rumours about Omega Red appearing might pay off in that scene. You know, in it. So spoilers for anybody. eBay again, telling us to buy something else. Spoilers for anybody watching, you know, that's now another case where we've been sold a guest appearance that hasn't transpired. I might be wrong. Might appear in future episodes, but I kind of feel that we should have seen him this week, and we didn't. So that was disappointing. We then go through the kind of the scenes where Bucky and Bucky and Winter Soldier, it's the same person. Bucky and Falcon are meeting the crime bosses and things, and that's interesting. And then, of course, we get on to Sharon Carter's reintroduction. I like what they've done with Sharon. I like the fact that Marvel aren't forgetting everything that's happened in previous films. I like the fact that she's basically hit hard times post-blip, and also because of the things she did during Civil War. I like her character. Again, some good scenes with her. Fantastic action scene where Sharon's with a group of men and she's got, you know, that hard rigid shaft in her hand. Come on, that's not, we're better than that. Disappointing. But there's some good action scenes with Sharon, and she kicks ass. She's a badass, which I really like. And again, first appearance on screen. I think she's a lovely character. I'd like to see more of her in the future. And again, I think she's got a lot of legs in this series. I think she could really add an interesting element. So I like her introduction. No costumes other than the Zemo and a very bizarre costume that Falcon wears at one point. But we don't really see Falcon in his uniform, so he doesn't really do much falconing. Falconing, is that a word? I don't know. He shoots a gun a lot. And I don't know if that impacted on the episode for me. I'm sounding like a right grumpy old fart, but it felt like a bit filler to me. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen them back in the costume. But I appreciate, you can't be in costume all the time. I can't see that side of things all the time. Humour was still there. Some really good scenes in that. I like the whole stuff about the car and not moving the seat forward. That went back again to Civil War. So yeah, I think the chemistry is still very good. And I actually like the chemistry with Zemo involved as well. I thought he played off them very well. I quite like that. Flag Smasher. The Flag Smashers. We've got quite a bit in this episode of the backstory, the seeing I can't remember the lady's name, but the seeing the lady's backstory about somebody dying and why she's on a path and then trying to steal supplies. I just wasn't very interested, I'm afraid to say. I don't know why. I don't know if I was just feeling grumpy when I watched it or what, but it just felt a bit flat. I didn't particularly care. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. It didn't shout out to us. I'm not sure why. US Agent, that was interesting. We get a little bit of US Agent in this episode, and I think you're starting to see the mask slip a little bit. There were some very subtle bits in it where you can see him getting irritated, and in his kind of his approach to doing everything by the book is slipping a bit, and he just wants things done. And I think that's really quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes going forward. I'm wondering if they're going to keep this character around in the MCU, or if he's going to be a one season kind of wonder. I like the guy who plays him. I think he's a good character, so I hope he does stick around, but we'll see how that all plays out. And then the end, we'll get the kind of the bit of a surprise ending, which is obviously the link with Black Panther. I cannot see it. Is it Dora Marju or something? Black Panther's gods, basically. And a character who, again, we've seen in previous films. I think is she called Ajo or Ao? Basically turns up to say they're after Zemo. So that's a nice link. I like that. I thought that was good, and that plays into the whole Wakanda stuff that we'll hopefully see more of in the future as well. So, overall, interesting episode. A few more good snippets, a few bits to watch out for. That'll hopefully kind of flesh out and play out in future episodes. Was I as blown away as previous episodes? No. I watched it with my wife, and when we were finished, she's been quite engaged in the last two episodes. When we were finished, I asked her what she thought, and she said, well, that was boring. Yeah, I'm not sure. Didn't, and this is I don't know if it's a Geordie term or a UK term, didn't float me boat as much as previous episodes. So with that in mind, I've scored previous episodes quite highly on the gingometer, the ginger nut scale. So I think for this particular episode, I'm going to score it 3 ginger nuts out of 5. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Before I go, what I will say is watched the newest episode of Invincible again this week. Again, okay, didn't float me boat as much as previous episodes. And I watched King Kong versus Godzilla, which had some cracking fighting scenes in. Didn't care a jot for any of the human people in it, but the cracking fight scenes were great. I think I preferred Godzilla King of Monsters, but overall a decent movie. I think I'm just in a shockingly bad mood today, because that's 3 things I've watched which I've just kind of went meh. Maybe I need to give myself a bit of a shake and rewatch them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.